Hello, it's Dr. Bettina here. We've had a letter from a parent who says, my son is 6 and my husband has died unexpectedly. We are all in deep shock. How do I explain death to my son? And should he attend my husband's funeral? Well, I want to start by saying how deeply sorry I am for what you and your family are going through right now. To lose a spouse and the father of your child is incredibly painful, and my heart really goes out to you. So, when something like this happens, it's really normal to feel unsure about what to say and what to do. How do you support your child through such deep grief? Of course, you want to protect him and do the right thing, kind of navigate this as best way you can. So, thank you for reaching out. I've got 5 things or 5 ideas that you can think about to consider, and then I'll think about the issue of the funeral. Firstly, carefully consider the language and the words that you use. Be really honest and be clear. It may feel gentler to say things like they've gone to rest or they're in a better place, but phrases like that can actually be really puzzling or even scary for children. Certainly at the age of 6, your son is very concrete in his understanding of things and understanding of language. And kids will fill in the gaps if we leave them. So, if you say he's gone to rest, he may wonder, well, when's he going to wake up? Or if you say he's in a better place, he may think, well, why can't I go there too? So keep it simple and be truthful. And it's really okay to use the word death. In fact, it would be encouraged. So you might say something like this: I have some very sad news to tell you. Daddy's body stopped working. He died. This means that we can't see him or talk to him anymore. This is not because anyone did anything wrong. The doctors tried to help him, but they couldn't make his body work again. Now, obviously, adapt that for your circumstances. But something like that is very clear. It gives him the facts, and then he's able to ask any questions that he has after you've given him that clear information. A second thing to consider is predictability. I would advise keeping life really predictable where you can. In times of loss, children really need that stability more than ever. It helps them to feel really safe. So try to stick to your usual routines, whether it's school pickup, Friday night dinner, your bedtime stories, the rituals of going to bed. The rhythms of life act like a steady base camp, and children are going to leave the base camp and go out on adventures, and then they're going to come back. And so giving them that predictability is really helpful. If you say you're going to do something as much as possible, then do it. If you say you're going to pick them up, I wouldn't be so casual about saying, oh, nanny can pick them up or grandma can pick them up this time. I would try to stick to what you say. Suddenly the world has become very unpredictable for your child. So you want to offer certainty and predictability wherever you can. Thirdly, let them grieve in their own way. Kids process big emotions differently to adults. They might express sadness through play, or they might have a moment of laughter amid tears, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they aren't hurting. It doesn't mean that they don't care. We need to trust that children are taking in and managing things in their own time, in their own way. Actually, play is the way in which children make sense of a lot of things. It often is a comfort to them, and it's a way in which they can move through grief without needing to put things into words. So allow time for play, join in, or just delight in what they're doing when they're doing it. And I think you need to know that each child will do it in their own way, and it will look different for different children. The fourth thing is to remember that grief changes over time. So children will revisit loss as they grow and will understand it in new ways over time. So expect grief firstly to come in waves. A smell or a song or a birthday may remind them of something, and they may have a wave of grief that had died down. So it's not a linear process as we're sometimes led to believe. And also know that grief can resurface during developmental leaps or special moments as children understand the complexity of the world and relationships in a different way. They may have new questions for you. So try to stay open, keep talking, let them guide you in the conversation. They will let you know what they need and when they need it. And the fifth idea, which is important and probably familiar to you, is to name and validate his feelings. Let him know that it's okay to be sad, to be angry, confused. And know as a parent that you don't have to fix that. Actually, listening and comforting him is really important, and it is enough. It will sustain him through those difficult emotions. Sadness is actually a part of loving somebody. And with your support, he will be able to get through. If he needs reassurance, tell him he's safe. Tell him it's not his fault if he needs reminding. And just take the time to sit with him whenever he needs to express that feeling. It's a really important part of a child feeling safe. And on the question of the funeral, generally it is beneficial for children of his age to attend as long as you handle it sensitively. Funerals are actually crucial rituals that really help people to process grief and to say goodbye. But I would make sure that you prepare him well by telling him what's going to happen in very concrete terms. Describe the room, who is going to be there, what might happen, and include the fact that people will be sad and people are likely to be tearful. Try to give him a choice where you can. Is there anything that he would like to say or do? Who would he like to be with? Let him know that he can ask questions at any time. And finally, take care of yourself. This is a tremendous loss for you. Be gentle with yourself and do ask for help. Us humans are really not supposed to cope alone. It is okay to cry in front of your son, of course, but if you're really struggling and feeling tearful a lot of the time, I would consider getting yourself outside professional help. There are actually some wonderful charities and resources and services for these kinds of situations. We'll put some links in the text below. But my deepest condolences to you both. Please do let us know at Nip in the Bud if you have any more questions that we can help with.